Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this maths camp of Mahesh Tutorials. My name is Harshad Paikrao. Okay, and I'll be teaching you this chapter called surface area and volume. Okay, so let us start with this. I hope all of you are able to view the screen. Just give me a message that you can see the slides. Okay, so all right. Alright, so as you can see, the name of this chapter is surface area and volume. Fine. Now, this is the most interesting chapter in geometry, I would say, because it deals with the real life objects. Most of the time, we think where to apply math. See, each and everything that we study in math actually can be applied in the real life. So this is the best example of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see what are the things in this chapter. You may have studied few parts of this chapter in your earlier standards, so it will be easier for you to recall. Okay, so in the first module, we are going to understand the structure of a cuboid. Now, when I say cuboid, you might think of many examples of cuboid. So come on, quickly give me the examples. What comes to your mind when I say cuboid? Can you give me examples? Yes, Soham has given an example, compass. Okay, textbook, very nice. Muskan has given this example, textbook. Bhavandana has given box, and there are many other giving now, shoe box, tester, many things. Okay, so basically a mobile, yes, a mobile phone can also be an example. So we have this, the easiest example we'll take a brick. Okay, we have a brick. We can take this one, the fish aquarium. These are few examples of a cuboid, any box. Like for example, I can show you this one. As you can see, I have this box. Okay, any box that for that matter, this is a cuboid. Okay, this is a cuboid. So when you see it in real, not in the picture but in real, जब आप 3D object देखते हो उसको, you understand it better. So this is the object. Okay, why I'm showing you this, because I wanted to understand the number of surfaces it has. Okay, number of sides it has. All these things we will understand. Okay, so let us start with the structure where when we see this thing, अब यहाँ पर तो आपको एक two-dimensional picture दिया है. We have to understand how many surfaces it has. Okay, just see this thing. Tell me how many surfaces it will have. When I say surface, this thing is one surface. This is one surface. Okay, how many such surfaces it will have? ऐसे कितने surfaces होंगे इसके? I can show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one at the bottom, 6, isn't it? So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it has 6 surfaces. All right. Now we can further divide these surfaces into vertical surface and horizontal surface. So horizontal and vertical, or we can use the word lateral. So we have these two horizontal surfaces, as we have seen in any box, and there are 4 vertical surfaces. There are 2 types of surfaces we can classify. We can take horizontal and vertical, or lateral we can call it. When it comes to corners, see the corners, how many corners it has, like this. As I can say, this is one corner where 3 sides intersect. This is one corner. Okay, so yes, I already got your answers. There will be total 8 corners, as you can see in the picture. Okay, now from every corner you can see there are 3 lines emerging. These are nothing but the dimensions of the cuboid. अब dimension का क्या मतलब है? Mostly when it is one dimensional thing, we just have one number, that is length. If it is 2 dimensional, we have length, breadth. जैसे कि rectangle है, rectangle में length and breadth दोनों होता है, isn't it? But since it's a solid, it will have 3 dimensions. It will have length, it will have breadth, and it will have height. So we'll denote these 3 by the letters L, P, and H: length, breadth, and height. So the cuboid has 3 dimensions: length, breadth, and height. And in any calculation of cuboid, we need to know length, breadth, and height, and we can find out its area and volume. Okay. Okay, when it comes to diagonal, now look at this line, this slant line that I have drawn. You can say this one is a diagonal. Okay, in a rectangle we see there is a diagonal. In a quadrilateral there are actually 2 diagonals. Okay, now just think about it. आपको थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा. Look at this diagonal. Can you see there is one diagonal I have drawn, one from the upper end to its diagonally opposite lower end. ठीक है? So I have drawn one such diagonal. Can you think of how many diagonals can we have? ये थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन है, आपको थोड़ा सोचना पड़ेगा. How many diagonals can we have? Okay, now understand one thing, it should come from top to bottom or bottom to top. Same surface पे नहीं चलेगा, opposite surface पे होना चाहिए. Yes, yeah, few are thinking, yes, few are saying. Simple है. How many corners at the top? There are 4. How many corners at the top? There are 4. So you can actually have 4 diagonals. Okay. Because क्या है ना कि डायगोनल आपको हमेशा ऊपर के सरफेस से नीचे के सरफेस पे आना है. सेम सरफेस पे आप नहीं कर सकते हो. Okay. Like we do in a rectangle, that diagonal is not allowed here. Okay. This diagonal is different. So we have 4 diagonals. All right. Mostly we don't have any question from diagonal, but it is good to know. Now understand the formula. In our textbook, all the formula are given. In fact, the derivation is also explained. In your exam, it is only expected that you remember the formula. You don't need to know how it has been derived. उसका derivation क्या है, वो कैसे आया, इसकी आपको ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, as long as you remember the formula. But then it is very important to know how the formula is derived in order to understand the question, okay, in order to understand the concept in detail. I will quickly show you the derivation, but then you don't have to worry about the derivation, you just need to remember the formula. All right, so let us see the first thing. The first formula is to understand the lateral surface area. Okay, so now what is the meaning of lateral? As we have already seen, there are 4 lateral surfaces. When you take any surface, for example, I'll take this one. Now when I want to find the area of lateral surfaces, I can simply take the area of this portion, isn't it? Can you tell me what is this shape? ये जो एक lateral surface है, what is this shape? ये क्या है? Only one surface. What is this? You can see in the video, this one surface. It is the rectangle. So actually each and every surface is a rectangle. And the formula for area of rectangle can be given by product of sides. We usually say length into breadth, but in this case we also have height, so we have to be a little careful. So it is safe to say that area of rectangle is product of adjacent sides. Okay, so to find the surface area, lateral surface area, we have to find out the area of each rectangle. So we have, if I take the front rectangle, that will give me the area as length into height. Okay, but there's one interesting thing about the cuboid. The surface that you see here in front is exactly same as the surface that you see opposite to it in the back side, isn't it? So सामने surface आपको front दिख रहा है, वही पीछे भी होने वाला है. So we actually have two rectangles like that. Okay, so one rectangle is length into h, other is length into h. So it is 2 times length into h. Okay, L into h. Then we'll take side surface. Okay, now the side face that will have the area b into h. The one on the right side will have area b into h. Same way, the one on the left side will also have area b into h. So this is the formula, this is the derivation, but itna to hum yaad nahi rakhte. We'll take few things common here. See what can we see common. First, let's add them. 2LH plus 2BH. Now we can take that 2 can be taken common. Also that h can be taken common from these two terms. So if I take 2 common first, then we get h common. The 2h is common. The non-common terms are L plus B. So this is the simplest form or the shortest form for lateral surface area. We just rearrange this to L plus B into h. Okay, so this is the formula that we have to remember for the lateral surface area. Okay, ये एक line आपको याद रहेगा, it is sufficient for you. I'll just tell you something very special from this formula. I hope everybody remembers this thing. Okay, ये जो है ना ये 2L plus B, what ये किसका formula है 2L plus B? 2L plus B. 2L plus B is the formula of what? It is the, yes, perimeter of the rectangle, isn't it? So what we are actually doing is to get the lateral surface area, we simply multiply perimeter into height. So अभी याद रखने के लिए भी easy है. Lateral surface area is perimeter into height, that is 2L plus B into h. That's our first formula. Okay. Okay, once we are done with the lateral, now lateral means 1, 2, 3 and 4 faces. There is one more thing called as total surface area. Okay, and for total surface area, the remaining two, the upper and the lower, these two surfaces should also be added. So for the total surface area, it is lateral surface area plus area of two faces or the two base faces, the top and the bottom. So we all know lateral surface area is 2L plus B into H, and the area of base faces. Now see the base here. You can see the base faces. Actually, we are calling both of them as the base faces. But the area is going to be L into B. So it is 2 times because there are two base faces. So 2 times L into B. अब ये फॉर्मूला थोड़ा याद रखने के लिए क्रिटिकल लग रहा है तो इसको थोड़ा सिंप्लीफाई कर देंगे. We'll open the bracket in the first part. ये जो first part है ना, we'll just open it. So this will become 2LH plus 2BH. Bracket open किया हमने, and it will be plus 2LB. Now we just take the 2 common, okay, and it is 2LH plus BH plus LB. Or we take length into breadth first. So ये अपना formula है LB plus BH plus LH. Okay, and this is how we remember it. Now there is one funny way of remembering this. Okay, एक funny सा तरीका है इसको remember करने का. Just ध्यान से देखना यहाँ पर. Okay, this is 2LB plus BH plus LH. Okay, so I just heard it somewhere, so I'm telling you this. So we can say, just see that formula LB. So they say लाल बहादुर, बहादुर है, लाल है. That was just to थोड़ा सा funny बनाने के लिए. You see this LB BH LH, that is लाल बहादुर, बहादुर है, लाल है. Okay, so that's a funnier way to remember this. All right. Anyway, so we have to remember there are 3 dimensions: length, breadth, and height. So we multiply each of them. Once L into B, then B into H, and then L into H. That is total surface area. All right. The next formula will be the volume. Now, what is the meaning of volume? Volume का क्या मतलब होता है? Yeah, volume is actually, some students are saying capacity. Okay. It depends. If you have a container, let's say a cylindrical or a conical या फिर है cuboidal container we have, the amount of water we can fill in it, we can simply call it the capacity, that is the volume. Or imagine if we have a solid cuboid, जैसे कि एक wooden block है. There's a wooden block. It cannot occupy anything, but it occupies some space. Okay, so we can say that for a solid object, it is a space occupied by the solid. When I keep this box on the table like this, it is occupying some space. कोई तो space occupy कर रहा है ना ये, तो space occupied को हम लोग बोलते हैं volume. या फिर let's say if I open this like this, ये भी open हो गया, और ये open one. So the amount of water I can fill in it inside this, that will be the capacity, which will be considered as, which is actually the volume. All right. The formula for volume is area of base multiplied by height. I repeat, it is area of base multiplied by height. Now, when we see a cuboid, we know that at the base, it is going to be a rectangle. So we'll take area of that rectangle and we'll multiply it with the height. जितना इसका height बढ़ता जाएगा ना, height से multiply करना है. And hence we get a very simple formula. Area of base, that is L into B multiplied by height, that is H. So the formula is very simple for volume: length into breadth into height, that is L into B into H. All right. Volume of cuboid is L into B into H. There was one more thing that is diagonal. I will tell you that. So let's quickly recap all the formulae. So the first formula for lateral surface area was 2L plus B into H. Then we have total surface area 2LB plus BH plus LH. Then we have volume L into B into H. Okay. One thing we studied, that is diagonal. जो मैं आपको diagonal बताया था. Diagonal के लिए आप क्या करोगे? Diagonal के लिए formula है. It is something like Pythagoras, not exactly, but it can be proved with the help of Pythagoras. I am not showing you the proof. I am telling you the formula directly here. So it is under the root L square plus B square plus X square. In case of a rectangle, diagonal is equal to under the root L square plus B square. But in case of a cuboid, it is under the root L square plus B square plus H square. So ये formula देख के आपको पता चल चुका होगा, it can actually be derived with the help of Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so I'm giving you a minute just to revise these formulae. After a minute, I will ask you the formula, any formula at random, and you have to explain me that formula. All right. So take a minute, just a minute, and try to remember all 4 formulae. Okay. All right. So are you all ready? Okay. Let's see. So, okay, who will answer? So let raise your hand if you are ready to answer. You know how to raise your hand? There's an option, or you can simply in the chat box just tell me that you are ready. Or should I ask at random? Okay, so I can see Soham Parmar. Can you hear me, Soham? Can you hear me, Soham? Okay, there are many have raised their hands. So, okay. Okay, Kaustubh Shirke, you can just unmute yourself and tell me the formula for total surface area of cuboid.
2 into bracket L into B plus B into H plus L into H.
Okay, fine. Good, Kaustubh. You can please mute yourself. Siddhi Dhedia. Okay, Siddhi Dhedia, you can mute yourself and tell me the formula for lateral surface area.
2H bracket L plus B.
Okay, you have written 2H first. That's good. Okay, tell me the formula for diagonal of a cuboid.
Square root L square plus B square plus H square.
Okay, so square root L square plus B square plus H square. Very good, very good. Okay, please mute yourself. So see, these are the formulae. Once we know the formulae, then we are ready to solve questions. All right, I'm just giving a few examples, not the actual question from the exercise. So there is a question. This is a question, a very simple one. Okay, so the question is, it's an additional question. Okay, let's just see this, how we use the formula. The dimensions of cuboid in centimeter are 16 by 14 by 20. Find the total surface area. Okay, this question tells us very important thing, that whenever the dimensions are given in this way, 16 multiplied by 14 multiplied by 20, it is actually should be read in this way, 16 by 14 by 20. Okay, and the order is always length, breadth and height. So here it indicates that the length is 16, the breadth is 14, and the height is 20. Okay, this is how we read this. And then we have to find the total surface area. Okay, I already got the answer from Soham. Good, Soham. So what we will do, since we need the total surface area of cuboid, we can simply take the formula that we have just studied, 2LB plus BH plus LH. You have to be a little careful while putting the values and substituting, because there's a bracket, there's addition, multiplication, everything is there. Remember the board mass rule that we will follow here. So 2 in the bracket L into B. Okay, so L into B, length into breadth, that will be 16 into 14 plus B into H, that will be 14 into 20 plus 16 into 20, that is L into H. All right. So there should be always multiplication first. So 2 in the bracket 16 into 14, that will become 224. 14 into 20. Now this is simple. 14 into 20, 14 to the 28, and a 0 there, so 280. And then 16 into 20, 16 to the 32, so 320. We add all the numbers in the bracket first. So 2 multiplied by, add all these numbers. So the addition will be 824. 824 is the addition. Okay. Now we have to still multiply this by 2. Yes, भावंदना थोड़ा सा कैलकुलेशन में ध्यान रखना. Okay, so 224 plus 280 plus 320, the addition is 824, and when we multiply, we'll get, now multiplying by 2 is again easy, so सबका double करना है, so 1648. And since this is area, it should be in centimeter square. Remember, the units are very important. In this chapter, in initial exercises, we are solving the question based on area. And in the later exercises, we are solving the question based on volume. So whenever it is area, it should be in square units, so centimeter square. Whenever it is volume, it should be in cubic units. Okay. So this is how we get it. All right, chalo, I will give you one more question for you to try now, and you can tell me the answer. So it is again an extra question. So you can keep your books with you, and you can just do that rough for calculation and just submit the answer. So I will explain the question first. A cuboidal vessel is 10 meter long, 8 meter wide. How high must it be made to hold 380 cubic meters of liquid? So we have a cuboidal vessel which is 10 meter long. That means the length is 10 meters. It is 8 meter wide. That means the breadth is 8 meters. How high must it be made to hold 380 cubic meters of liquid? Okay, you just need to understand this statement that says how high it must be made. That means इसका जो height है वो कितना होना चाहिए. So in fact, we want to find the height such that it will hold 380 cubic meters of liquid. Holding 380 cubic meters of liquid indicates the volume. So we already know 380 cubic meter is the volume. As the vessel holds 380 cubic meter, that means the volume is 380 cubic meter. All right, so we have this. अच्छा, अब यहाँ पर है ना, हमें find out करना है height. Okay. Now the interesting part is, since we have volume given and हमें height find करना है. In the initial question it was find the surface, total surface area. We use the formula directly. But here we have to find a dimension, that is that dimension, that is height. To find height, do we have any direct formula to find height? There is no direct formula to find height, but to find the height, we have to use the given information, that is the volume in this case. तो अगर क्वेश्चन में वॉल्यूम दिया है तो यूज द फॉर्मूला फॉर वॉल्यूम. अगर क्वेश्चन में सरफेस एरिया दिया है, लैटरल सरफेस एरिया या फिर टोटल सरफेस एरिया, यूज दैट फॉर्मूला. So since we have volume, okay, so we'll use the formula for volume. The volume of cuboid is length into breadth into height, but we already know the volume, so we just substitute 380 is equal to L into B into H. Come on, do this calculation, all of you, and tell me the answer. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people has already given me the answer. 6. संयम, आपको थोड़ा सा कैलकुलेशन में चेक करना पड़ेगा. यश, check your calculation. Okay, I have got the answers from many people now. Okay, so here what we do, 380 is equal to L into B into H. On substituting, we'll get 380. Okay, here what we can do first is, this 380 is equal to, length is 8 into 10 into H. So H will be equal to 380 upon 8. H will be equal to 380 upon L into B. All right. Okay. Now, student, I want all of you to rejoin this session, as the session is ending in a minute. Okay. We will rejoin immediately. As soon as it ends, I want all of you to quickly rejoin, so that we'll do a couple of questions more, and then we'll take a break, maybe around at 11 o'clock. Okay, so I want all of you to please rejoin with the same meeting ID and password as soon as this session ends here. Okay, this is the calculation you have to do. A very simple thing. 0 gets cancelled. 38 upon 8